Hey folks, thanks for joining in. A lot of people ask about the best kind of woods to use for a beginner wood carver. So today, I would like to show you the difference between basswood, which is immensely popular for beginners, and cottonwood bark, which is nice and soft, carves like butter, but has some drawbacks. Basswood is pretty famous for its easy carvability, its nice, clean, straight grain, and its ability to hold the features, hold the detail that you carve in. For example, this is carved in basswood, and it has a fair amount of small detail in the eyes, the beak, and the feathers on the chest. Now, what I've discovered when trying to carve things like this owl out of basswood is that, for one, it's hard to find a piece big enough to carve what you want to carve. Good luck ever finding a piece of bark big enough to do something like that. And as you carve these small details, like these eyes and beak, sometimes the outer layers will just chip away. Some of the benefits of bark, however, is that you can find it all over the place. You're not hurting a live tree in order to take what you need to carve. This bark is always shed from the poplar tree after it dies. And you get beautiful grain when you carve this stuff. Whereas with basswood, it's very plain and white, and you almost need to use paint and stains to get what you like. I've also found that stains tend to be a little blotchy on basswood, so be careful with that. This is an absolutely splendid piece of bark, and it's actually fairly rare to find one in this good shape. As I said before, the bark does not shed off the trees until after it's dead, and usually it takes a year or two after. So if you can find standing dead poplar of any significant age, chances are you can find some good bark. I do have a video that I'll post a link to in the description that's about how to find good cottonwood bark and where to find poplar trees. If you can get to a tree after it's died, and just as it starts shedding the bark, you can still get some pretty decent, solid, carvable wood that will hold some pretty fine detail. And here is a great example of that. This piece was in good enough shape. It did not have any bug holes in the back. Watch for that when you're picking them up out in the woods. And it was able to hold pretty good detail without chipping away as I carved. Now, if you get a little too ambitious with sharp things or raised things like that beak, you can run into problems. But it's not unheard of to be able to carve like this in cottonwood bark. Here's a fine example of some cottonwood bark and just how pretty that grain can be. That is not something you're ever going to get with basswood. So my recommendation to you is, if you would like to try carving, find yourself some cottonwood bark or a piece of basswood from your local craft store or specialty wood shop and give it a try. Happy carving! So my plans for 2021 are going to include more talk about tools and maybe some more videos about sharpening. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing and liking my videos and commenting and asking questions. I'll do my very best to answer them and to send you in the right direction when I don't have answers. I am hoping to do a lot more videos in 2021, more tutorials, more wood carving, more about tools and tool sharpening and tool care. So stick around, subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to share this with your friends and hit that little bell notification. Stay tuned for another video on how to carve this little owl, only this time we're going to carve it out of cottonwood bark.